what's at the center of your wheel, okay? So this is a very specific exercise that I take the men of Better Man Blueprint through. So a lot of the times we're going through life, we're going through, you know, we're trying to work out, we're trying to lose weight, we're trying to build the business, we're trying to do all these things, right? We're trying to lead our family. Paul, sweet, you can hear me, awesome. So a lot of the times, you know, we're going through these acts, we're going through our tasks, our purpose every day, right? But we have a hard time, maybe we're not seeing progress, right? Maybe we're not losing the weight, maybe we're not succeeding in relationships, like whatever that is. We have to figure out what's at the center of your wheel, all right? So I'm gonna go through a little exercise today, and hopefully my intention for you is for you to be able to unveil what's at the center of your wheel, because it's this thing that's at the center is the way you're going to look at all of these aspects of your life. And I'm gonna show you how that can have I'm gonna share a story of mine of how hindsight, how I was able to look back and reflect on, like, wow, if it wasn't for this, I would have reacted to this situation differently, and I would not have broken my vicious cycle, okay? So, like I said, this is a very specific exercise I take the men of Better Man Blueprint through, so that way they can gain clarity on what's at the center of the wheel. So, I encourage you, when you're watching the replay, by the way, if you're watching the replay, hit #replay and let me know. I encourage you to do this little exercise, okay? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna draw a wheel, okay? A circle, okay? You've got your circle, all right? And then we're gonna do a cross down the middle, like this. And then we're gonna do down the middle diagonally, not down the middle, but diagonally like this. So it kind of looks like a pizza, okay? So, and then you're gonna draw something, and you're gonna draw a circle in the middle, and just kind of fill this in, all right? So this is your wheel of your life, okay? This is your wheel of your life. Now, inside of each of these sections, you've got specific aspects of your life, right? So you've got like religion here. You got religion, your faith, whatever it is that you believe in, okay? You've got your religion here. You've got work, right? You've got work. You've got finances, right? You got money, right? Providing for your family. You've got that there. You've got your health, pretty dang important, right? Okay, next you've got your family. You've got relationships. I'll just abbreviate there. Relationships. Then you've got your mental health, right? You got your mental health, your mindset, the way that you think about things. And then you've got lifestyle. Lifestyle. Okay. And so there's a very specific exercise that we take them through to figure out, like, how well balanced. That's a very common theme. Like, man, that's a very common theme that you hear people talk about. Like, man, I wish things are kind of out of balance in my life. I wish I was a more balanced person. I wish I could find time to spend time with my family, work, have time to myself. Like, I wish my life was more balanced, right? So at the end of the exercise, ultimately, here's what happens. This is where a lot of us make mistakes, is we use, so whatever is at the center of this wheel, let's say it is, I don't know if this will show up or not. Let me get a different color. Let's say, I don't think that's gonna work. Let's say it's work. I don't know if you can see that, but let's say it's work. Let's say work is at the center of your wheel, right? What you do is you end up using work, and work looks out at all these things, okay? Work looks out at all of these, okay? And ultimately what these are looking out to all of these point to something else, right? All of these point to your soul. Who am I? Sometimes we're using these things to figure out who we are, right? I'm gonna move this over. Sometimes we're using work to find our self-worth. We use money to find out what our self-worth is. Right? We're seeking to find our soul through these things. And so let's say at the end of the exercise, work is the most dominant thing in our life. Here's the problem with work. Work is great. It's important, right? It's how we make money. It's how we provide food, shelter, like the necessities, right? And then some. But if you use work to look at the rest of these aspects of your life to kind of figure out like who you are, if you use work to do that, here's what this looks like. There is no intrinsic value in work. All it is what it is. Work is like, it just makes money, right? Or whatever. But if you use work, if work is the center of your wheel and you use work to look at your family, here's what that looks like. I don't have time to talk to you right now. I got to work. I don't have time to be at work. I don't have time to be home, honey. I've got work to do. I've got this project. Like we start to ignore the responsibilities that we're supposed to show up as a man, a husband, and a father, right? If we use work to look at our health, man, I don't have time to work out. I've got a busy project. I don't have time to eat healthy. I don't have time to do whatever, right? You get the idea. If we use work to look at all these, that's kind of what that looks like, okay? Now, here's ultimately what we want. Now, this is actually a perfect segue here. I'm going to talk about here in a little bit of what I'm going to be covering later tonight in my Facebook group. So I'm going to be sharing 5 truths over the course of the next 5 days in my community Facebook group. I'm going to get more into detail of what that's going to look like here in a little bit. But what I'm about to share with you is going to be truth. Some people may not like it, but that's just what happens with the truth, right? So ultimately, here's what we want. I'm going to draw another wheel. Let me get rid of Dwight's shirt here. My wife got me these little stickers for my birthday. She bought these office things all over, put these little office decals. So ultimately, here's what we want. So I'm gonna draw another circle. Here's actually not what we want, but here, this should be the goal. This should be the goal. So the same wheel. And then I'm going to share a story with you of how, if it wasn't for this thing, I would have never broken my vicious cycle. Okay. So same wheel, right? So the first wheel was, we've got all the aspects of our life, but we use these, right? Whatever's at the center of our work, whatever's at the center of our wheel, we use these to branch out, and hopefully we're chasing our soul, right? Brian Ward calls this soul chasing. So ultimately, you're chasing your soul, trying to figure out your worth, who you are. So this is what we ultimately want it to look like. Okay, so we've got, same thing here, we got work, right? We've got finance, okay? We've got our health, okay? We have our family, we have relationships, okay? We have our mental health, we have our lifestyle, and then we have religion. I know that religion for many people is like fingers on a chalkboard. They don't want to hear about it. I hate to break it to you, but you are a religious person. You are a spiritual person. Many people confuse what religion is. It's not the acts of religion, okay? But that's another topic. So now we've got the 5 aspects again. The ultimate goal here is for the spiritual side of you, right? Your religion, your faith, the things beyond the finite. What this stuff is here is we're using the finite things of the world to seek and find our soul. That's ultimately what we're doing, okay? But if we attach our self-worth, we attach who we are to the finite things, what happens when you lose those? What happens when you lose your job? If everything is tied to work, What happens if you lose your job? If everything is tied to money, if money's in the center, what happens when you lose all your money? You hear about all the hedge fund people that have like lost money. They're just fucking going crazy. What happens? Are you no longer that person? Why do you think relationships? What happens if you lose your family and relationships? Did you know that men commit suicide 3.5 times more than women do? And most suicides are due to some kind of like the loss of some kind of relationship, some kind of loss of a romantic relationship. Did you know that? You hear this all the time. I'm nothing without you, honey. Without you, I'm lost. Really? Seriously? Like, we need to reevaluate this if that's at the center of your wheel. And that's what leads to things like suicide and all the kinds of crazy stuff. So ultimately, what we want here is we want to align religion. I'm sorry to say this, but you are a religious person. We do things religiously, right? You are religious. You are a spiritual person. You cannot deny that. So the goal here, I wish this would show up better, is to put your soul in the middle, to align your spirit, your soul. Okay? The ultimate goal is for your soul, your spirituality, your faith. Those should be the center. And here's what this looks like. You now use your soul. You look at work differently. You use your soul, your spirit, the eternal. Use the eternal to look at these other aspects of your life. This is the goal. Here's what this looks like in real life, okay? Little story. So, probably about, I wrote this on a blog post, right? So, probably about maybe between 8, 9, maybe even 10 years old. This was in the 80s. I don't know what my mom had going on in her life at the time, right? Maybe she was stressed out with work. Maybe she was stressed out with whatever it is that she had going on. And I approached her and I was like, hey, Mom, I need to tell you something, right? And what happened she just like shushed me away. She's like, get out of here. I can't talk to you right now. Like, I just don't have time right now. I cannot talk to you. And I was like, whoa, like that always stuck with me as a kid, right? And so fast forward, this kind of like makes the little bit of hair I got on my head stand up in the back of my neck. Fast forward 30 years, I'm working in my office. And something caught fire, not literally, but like something broke on my website and I was trying to fix whatever it was, right? I was just frustrated, right? I had to get it fixed. My daughter comes in behind me and she's like, hey, Dad, I need to tell you something. Freaky. Exact same words, friend. And instantly I was going to react like, I can't talk to you right now. Like, I've got to fix this thing. Like, get out. I can't talk to you. Like, I almost responded that way. But in an instant, I was flashed back to when I was like 8 or 9 years old. And I remember what happened with my mom. And she was like, I can't talk to you right now, mijo. Like, I got something going on. And I remember that. And it's like, I just stopped what I was doing, turned around, picked my daughter up onto my lap, and I was like, what is it? What is it, mi amor? Like, what's going on? And it was nothing. It was something really small, like, oh, Daddy, I just want to tell you I love you, or I just wanted to show you this. Very small thing. I just had this breakthrough not too long ago. And so as I look back, as I'm reflecting on this, okay? When my mom reacted to me the way that she did, I don't have time to talk to you. Work was at the center of her wheel. She used work to stress, and she allowed that to kind of revolve everything that was going on here. And so when you use work to look at your family, that turns into when things are stressful, I don't have time to talk to you. I can't come home early tonight. I got to do this. I got to make money. I can't do this, right? That's the experience that I had. And then, I kind of shed a few tears with my mentor. Shout out to Rick. We were working through this wheel this way. And what I didn't even realize happened. I didn't even realize this happened. When I responded differently to my daughter, she came in, same exact words, Dad, I need to talk to you. I need to tell you something. I almost snapped, but instantly I responded with love. what is it? Pulled her up onto my lap. I elevated her to me. What I didn't realize was religion was at the center of my wheel, okay? This doesn't mean I'm a perfect person, but without religion, without faith, without that aspect, if that was not at the center of my wheel, I could not have responded that way. I would have responded with either money or work would have been the center, and that's how I would have responded to my daughter, right? And that goes on to generations. Obviously, like, I still remember that after 30 plus years, the way my mom responded to me that way. Maybe you have the same experience. Maybe you have experiences with your father, with your mother, or somebody that kind of reacted to you that way. You can't hold that against them. They just didn't know how to control what's at the center of their wheel, which is why it's up to you to figure out what's at the center of your wheel, so that way you can respond appropriately when it comes to how you look at, right? So we've got our virtues, our core virtues, right? Faith, hope, and love, theological virtues. And we have our 4 cardinal virtues: justice, prudence, temperance, and fortitude, right? So it's faith, hope, and love. The theological virtues should flow through. Those are the acts of the will. Temperance, fortitude, justice, and prudence. Those are the acts of the will. Those are the things that we do. But love, etc., has to flow through those. And so through your soul, through your faith, you respond and you look at your life differently. Okay? So, like I mentioned, the 5-day truth series. Tonight, I'm going live in my community Facebook group. I'm going to be covering 5 truths, okay, of what has been holding men back from becoming the man, husband, and father that they need to be, okay? And it's going to be really good. I'm really excited about this, all right? So here's what you can do, all right? Here's what you need to do next if you enjoyed this video. If any of this resonated with you, in the comment section, there will be a link to join the group. It's a free training, free series, doesn't cost anything. I'm going to be going live, so if you want to engage with me, you can engage with me then. The recordings will stay up inside of the group, okay? I'll drop the link in the comment section. Here's why you need to do this right now. You don't have any more time to waste. We're already February into 2021, and you cannot afford to create any kind of psychological damage generations down the road because you don't know what's at the center of your wheel. All right, so thank you so much for watching. I'm going to drop the link in the comments section or if you're watching this from the blog, I'll drop it into the description or the comment section. And I look forward to seeing you live. I'm going live tonight, 7 Central Time, okay? And I'll be going live every single day for the next 5 days. All right, so thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you tonight for the Better Man 5-Day Truth Series.